Good evening, welcome, thank you for joining me. My name's Barry and I am one half of Mitosu Crafts. I normally have Jay sitting by the side of me, but he is currently out this evening, so yes, thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company this evening. As I mentioned, I'm on my own. I'm going to be playing with a few things this evening. So I'm going to be playing with a sentiment from the Magical Meadow. I'm going to be playing with the a stamp and some sentiments from the Christmas classics. And the main feature is going to be the new online exclusive designer series paper, or some of those. So I'm going to show you some of that. But yes, so but before I crack on, I'm going to say hi to some people, to all of you lovely people that have joined me live. So let's see who we have got on here. So we've got hi Connie, we have got Sandy McCullough, so hello to you. We've got Valerie, good evening, Quinn, and Keisha, hi Keisha, and Linda as well. So happy Thanksgiving to the two of you and to Sandy. So happy Thanksgiving everyone in Canada. So anyone else who's Canadian, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. So we've got Kathy, we have also got Maureen, Charlotte, hello Charlotte. We've got Anne, good evening to you. Jackie, Carol, Sylvia, hello. Who else have we got here? We have got Angie, hi Angie. We've got Jilly Bling, Chris, John, Debbie, Joanna, Gian, Sherry, Donna and Pauline. Good evening to you. Apologies if I've missed anyone off there. Jay normally reads out the names, so he's a lot better at it than I am. So yes, so good evening to you. Hi Branson as well. Good afternoon to you. So I'm going to crack on. So I'm going to be playing, as I said, with the designer series paper, and I'm going to be playing with a fracture technique. It's a technique which I've seen a lot of people doing recently, and I've wanted to give it a try. So yeah, the fracture technique is what I'm going to be playing with tonight. Links to any of our online shops and anything else can be found down below in the description. So if you like anything which you're seeing me play with tonight, you can purchase it from us if you live in one of the European countries, so the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Belgium and Ireland. Yes, you can purchase stuff from us if you live in any one of those countries. If you're unsure of how to do that, please contact us. I'll pop our email address up on the screen right now, so barryandj@mitosucrafts.com. Please email us over there if you've got any questions or would like to know more about how to order from us. But I'm going to give away a card. So this was the card which, I think it's this card. This was the card which Jay made last week, and he was playing with some Halloween stuff. So we're going to give away this card here right now. So if you popped a comment in last Sunday's video, you may be in for a chance of winning it. So let's go over to that right now, and then we will crack on. So we are going to go to see if there was any more of you in there. I've got 22, so good luck to everyone. And the winner is going to be Lavinia Harding. So congratulations, Lavinia, that card is coming over to you. So please email us, barryandj@mitosucrafts.com. Please pop today's date, the 8th of October 2023, in the subject line and your full mailing address, please, there, Lavinia. And we will send this card to you. That card is yours. I'll show you that one later on. It gives me something to talk about later on. So there we go. Congratulations to you, Lavinia. That card is going to be working its way over to you if you'd like it. So let's have a little look at what we're going to do. Now, I had a play around yesterday, so I've actually designed these two cards, so I know what I'm doing. But we'll see what happens. See if I can recreate it again. So first card is... Let's just bring you back up so I can see your comments. First card, I'm going to be playing with the Cherry Cobbler to start off with here. So I'm just going to cut my card base down to our normal card size, which is 14 centimeters, which is 5.5 inches. and I will then score that in half at 10.5 centimetres, 4 1/8 of an inch. And we will just fold and burnish that. Now I'm going to play with some designer series paper. Let's get that one out for you. So yeah, there will be no live draw tonight because I can't take your names and craft at the same time. So, but please do still chat. Say hi. We will go through them afterwards. So I'm going to be first off. I've got the A Shining Christmas 12x12 designer series paper, and this is what we have got. So we've got some. I've already used some of these. So I've got these lovely hollies. You can see it's shiny and it has got foil in it, which is absolutely lovely. And got this one right here. This one, look at that, it's just so shiny, it's lovely. And that one, presents, and we've got some trees, really nice. And then we go back to those, and then on the back side of that we have got them, they are all in red. So you've got, these are just plain papers all in the red. So really lovely papers. I'm going to be using this one right here for this first card. Let's just pop that away. That one as well. So I will cut this down to size, which I'm going to just cut this down to my normal standards. And we will go 10 centimetres by 13.5. Okay, and then that then is going to then be a mat and layer for this particular card. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some more of my cardstock, and I am going to cut off 1/4 inch strips. So I'm going to cut off 4 1/4 inch strips. In the coordinating colour which goes with the card base on this particular one. So that's that one there. So I've got my card base, I've got my designer series paper, I've got myself some strips. What else do I need? I need myself a little bit of scrap paper. Let's just see. Can do it down there. That's it. That's good enough. And I'm going to do a little bit of die cutting on that one. And I'm going to take the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to die cut out a square. So I just need to make sure I get the correct one. So I'm going to take that one there, and then I'm going to then take that one. So I've taken the second largest and the fourth, or the second smallest. So it depends on how you want to. Second in from the largest and the fourth in from the largest is what I'm using from these. What I'm using for these two right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut some things first. So with my designer series paper, what I want to do is I want to take my square and I want to pop this in like so, and I want to then cut this out so it's like in the diamond. So I just need to look at this. I'm going to just eyeball it. I'm not going to measure it, so I'm going to look for equal distances either side here, and then just try and make sure that looks as tidy as possible, that it isn't going to be ski whiff. So I'm going to do that one there at the designer series paper, and then I'm going to then take a piece here and I'm going to cut out a square from this one right here. So who's done this fracture technique already? Has anyone had a play around with this one before? It's been a really busy day today. I've been working this morning. I've then come home and Jay and Sarah have been doing their all-day retreat with the Christmas classics, and then I finished it up with my project, and then Jay's gone out, and then now I'm doing this. So it's been a busy day today. And we'll just cut that one out like so. You've done it, Connie. Good. It's easy, isn't it? So we've now got our card, which is like that. And I'm just going to carefully peel this off here. Because it's kind of like a bit shiny, it's the likelihood of that tearing is quite slim, but you still want to be quite careful with it. Okay. And then what we want to do is, let me just think about how I'm going to do this. The way that I did this is I reseated this back in like that. So I did it that way. I grabbed myself some sellotape is what I actually did on this particular one. And I just stuck it back into place. I just need to try and make sure I get it. That's it. And then I just stuck it in behind, just so that it was in place. Okay, so that's what you've got on your front side. So you've got this lovely stitching on here, and then we've rotated around and we're using the back side of this. With these 4 strips, what we now want to do is stick these onto this like that. So it's overhanging as well. So now my tip for you on this one is I'm going to just pop it in like that, and I'm just going to run my finger kind of along where it's going to be overhanging. So then that way, if I just fold it in that point, that gives me an indication of where I just need to stop my gluing so I don't get the table too dirty and sticky. Don't use too much glue on this. I'm just spreading it out because you don't want it to splodge out too much. And then you just then need to get over the top of this and then just line this up along that edge. And then stick that down along that cut. And we're going to do that 4 times. Okay, and then we're going to then pop this one on like that. So, and you need to make sure that your strips are long enough so that they come off the card, because we're going to then cut them down to size. So now I should have used adhesive back strips, the adhesive back sticky adhesive strips sheets, but as always I forget that we've got them and forget to use them. And then that one there. So we're just basically butting up every single time against the other. And then sticking on. So I have popped in a Zoom link. I'll see if I can find it again, and I will then pin it to the top quickly of the chat. if anyone's around and wants to do a quick Zoom, I won't be on for long tonight, because I will have to go and pick Jay up soon after. But if anyone's around and they want to, you can come and have a chat. Let me just find the link and then I'll pin it to the top. There we go. That's it. So the Zoom Crafter Party Chat and Tidy is now pinned to the top of the live chat. Be lovely to see some of you. It'd be lovely to see all of you. I'm not sure whether or not I can cope with that many on all of you on Zoom. I'm not sure if it will allow us. So that's it. So I'm just popping a bit of glue and then I'm spreading it. I'm not actually pushing any more glue out. I'm just spreading it around so that it goes, it spreads out. You don't need much glue on it, otherwise it will then seep out onto the rest of the card. Okay, and then that there is the makings of my fracture technique. So what I need to do is I just need to grab my trimmer again, and we need to pop this in. Now we know that, let's see what's the best way of doing this. We know that we were at 13.5 centimetres, so I can pop it in at 13.5, and then I can then take that one off there. Then I can then pop this in at 10 centimetres again, so which is where we were. So I can pop that in, and we can then take that one off. You can do this with scissors if you want as well. It doesn't, and then you can then and then this is then what gives us that fracture look, because we've separated it. There we have it, which is why you don't want to have too much glue overhanging, because you're just going to end up getting your table dirty, and you're going to end up then getting the trimmer sticky, so it becomes messy. So that little tip of just running your fingernail across it just to see where it is quite handy. So I'm just going to use my scissors just to tidy up that one a little bit. Let's just have a look. I don't get to see your comments, do I now? So apologies if I've missed any questions at all. But I'm sure you're all helping each other out and answering questions. So all our Canadian friends, what have you been doing for Thanksgiving today? Or what are you doing? Because obviously it's still quite early with you, isn't it? So then what we're going to do is I'm going to just stick that in, so which is why I quite it works well, so then your strips are the same colour as your card base, because it kind of blends in, and then it almost looks like you've then cut this designer series paper down to size and popped them in as panels, but you've really kind of just cheated and stuck a bit of paper over the top of it. It's a genius idea. And then we'll just cover that up, stick that down like so, and that's going to go in just like that, just like that. Alright, so we've got this one right here, and we will stick this on with some dimensionals. Now, I'm going to use 4. Good, Charlotte. It's very easy. I've been wanting to do it for ages, and it keeps on popping up on my Pinterest feed, and so like, 'cause obviously I've been looking at it. It's so very easy. Frame this one in here. I quite liked this because it was a size smaller. It was 2 sizes smaller than the one which I used, which then I was able to then show off that back of that designer series paper in there as well. So that was how I did that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scrap bit of paper once again, and I'm going to grab myself my Christmas Classics dies here, and stamp sets, I mean, and I'm going to take the holly. Just need to grab a block. Now I am using the Season's Greetings sentiment on this. Jay, I kindly asked Jay, can you fussy cut them out for me please before you leave? So I've stamped them and he's fussy cut them out. I did fussy cut them already. I did fussy cut them for my original card, but I just knew that he would just make some, he'd make it so much better. So I've cheated, and Jay has kindly fussy cut for me. So I'm just going to stamp one of these hollies right here, and we will do one there. I'm going to do two just in case I mess up on my die cutting and it slightly slips. So I've got a bit of scrap paper, so it's fine. And we will grab the Christmas Classics dies, and I'm going to cut the holly out using this. Hi Becky. I'm so pleased you enjoyed today. It's been a long day, hasn't it? But yeah, your cards were amazing. Well done. Let's see. And then you got to peel some potatoes and carrots. Well, that's it. You can sit back and relax now for the rest of the day, Linda. So that's that one. I don't need the second one because I was able to cut that fine the first time. So we've got that one. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bit of green. I'll take shaded spruce here. Actually, no, I won't take shaded spruce. Let's go a different colour. Let's go with some old olive, I reckon. I'm just going to colour these in just very quickly. Very simple colouring. So just one layer. This is a great way of showing off designer series paper as well. So the technique isn't necessarily Christmas, but it's not. It can be used for any style, and you can see on my second card is very simple and can be easily adapted to anything. But you can do all sorts on this one. I didn't stamp my berries. There we go. I knew I'd forget something. Let's grab my berries. And I'll do my berries in cherry cobbler. We were chatting on our craft retreat today. There's certain colours which come out at certain times of the year, and cherry cobbler for me is definitely a Christmas colour. Does anyone else do that? Do you have certain colours which only come out at certain times of the year or get used more at certain times of the year? Another colour which came out when we were discussing it on our retreat was, Sarah said, Misty Moonlight is a colour which gets used a lot more at Christmas time. So I'm just going to pop my berries in there. Just cut those out. You are very right there, Linda. No fussy cutting needed when Jay is in the room. So Yeah, real red, I suppose, is a bright colour. Yeah, but definitely. Yeah, cherry cobbler, but is definitely one which comes out for me at Christmas. I go for the Regals a lot more at Christmas time. And then we are going to take some of the... We got any minis on here? Just need to get some more minis. Bear with me. Don't know if I've got any minis. Let's have a look. What's that? There they are. So I'll just take the mini dimensionals here and just pop these on the back. Like that. One more for good luck. One more for good measure. Jay's not here to gasp. And we're going to just stick that centrally in my panel right there. Grab my berries. Yeah, that's, I suppose, Charlotte, I'm well like that as well. But yeah, I suppose the Regals, I think, are definitely more Christmassy. They get used a lot more on the designer series paper at Christmas. So I'm going to go on from there. Oh, where's my berry? There. And we'll just pop those on like so. No. That's it. That's it. So they've gone in down the bottom like that. They will stick eventually. And then I've got the Season's Greetings stamps sentiment here, which Jay has kindly cut for me. And I'm just going to grab the snips because he's cut it so fine that I really need some very, very thin strips of dimensionals to hold this in place. So, greetings. Oh. And we can then just go over there like that. I can get one in the middle down there. And that's fine. I can probably just get, can I get that off the G? Because if anything, it was better going on that part of the G. Because the way that I want to do this is to now stick this either side. So I want to stick that there like that. So the G is onto that bit there, and then we'll just take the Seasons and just cut a few thin strips here. And try and find somewhere which I can put them. That's it. One more. And then that's going to go on like that. So we just remove the backing papers off of those very, very thin pieces. So this is a sentiment which comes as one, but Jay has kindly cut it for me in two. So seasons, greetings, and there we have it. I just need a little bit of glue on that G, so I'm just going to pull it up and just... Oh. Didn't see how much come out there. Quick emergency, what can I use? I didn't think all of that was coming out, so I just carried on squeezing. I think what I will do is it's going to dry clear. I will then glue that out afterwards. So there we have it. There is my first card using the fracture technique right there for you. So the sentiment does get a little bit lost in that. It shows up more in person and on camera. It does, yeah, looking at it there, you think, so where is it? But you can see it shows up a lot better in person. So that there is my first card using this lovely designer series paper. I really like how that has come out again. So I did the first one, I did it in the shaded spruce greens for the holly. I think that works quite nicely as well, either or, which is why I've done it in the old olive on that one. So that's that one. Just pop that one to one side to dry. And then let's move on to the second. So we're going to do the fracture technique again for the second card. So let me just give myself a bit of clearing up to do. But what I'm going to do is... No, Tommy. Tommy's trying to get on me. He says, oh, I normally sit on one of you whilst you're crafting. Let's just pop that away. And I think then we are done, I think, with the Christmas classics for this particular one. Am I using... Yeah, I am using the Happy Christmas. So I've not actually using the Winter Meadow. It's on my prototype. One of my prototypes I used the Winter Meadow, so I can show that to you at the end. So with this one, I'm going to be taking some old olive. And I'm going to be using some of the paper from the Walk in the Forest designer series paper. And I'm going to be using this one right here. So this lovely dark green with the red berries on here again, different colours. So we've got the old olive, which is matching, so everything tone on tone goes into this. So we've got that one. What I need to do is, I just need to just check my measurements quickly. Did I keep that? Yeah. So I'm going to cut my A4 in half, or at 10.5 centimeters, but this way this time. Okay, and then I'm gonna then score this at 14. So we need it. It's basically the 14 by 28, so I can take it down to 28 already. And then what I want to do is I need to make like a 4-inch panel on this one and then fold it over. So I just need to score this. So this is 14, which is 5.5. So I need this to come down to a 4-inch panel. So I need to take off basically at 1.5 inches. Is that correct? I thought it was a bit more. So I need to score it. I need to take off 1 3/8 of an inch. I need to score 1 3/8 of an inch as well. So I basically, if we go in that again, so this is 10.5, which is 4 1/8 wide, by 28, which is 11 inches. I want to score it first off at 14, which is at 5.5 inches, and then again at 24.5 centimeters, which will be 9 and or 9.5 inches. Sorry, no, not 9.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 5/8 of an inch, 24.5 centimeters. So that there, if my maths is correct, should now give me I need to take that. I need to think it. I need to take it. It's another 1/2 inch. It's another 1/8 of an inch. So it's, yeah, it's 1.5 inches. So let's do that one again for you. So scored that one there at 14, 10.5, and then score it at 24 centimeters, which is 9.5 inches. That's the correct way of doing it. Then that then gives me approximately a 4 by 4 inch, 4 by approximately 4 inch square, which will make sense in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to cut myself a 4 by 4 panel from this one here. Yeah, which is correct. So I've got a 4 by 4 panel. So that there will cut down to 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so then that there will then go into a panel like that. I may just need to adjust that ever so slightly in a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold and burnish that one. And then I'm going to then fold and burnish this one. Okay, so we've got the card. It's going to be that style card that's got a flap going behind it. So this will then get stuck onto this one, but I just need to just adjust my measurements ever so slightly. I just want to take off a little bit more from one side. I'm just going to take off a 1/16 of an inch, just a tiny fraction, because at the moment it's a little bit too. I want to try and make sure my borders are as even as possible, which I'm happy with that one there now. My borders are a little bit more equal. So just again, eyeball it. I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down to a hole. There we go. I've got a bigger green border as well, which is what I'm happy. I like to have a slightly bigger green border so I can see that. So I've come down to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So your designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So basically, I've made a 4 by 4 panel for this here, and then you want to then mat and layer in that one. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab myself my dies, and I am going to grab the stylish shapes once again, and this time I'm going to grab the next size down. So I'm not using the biggest size as I did for the first card. I'm using the next size down, and then the same size for the was what I did for the other one, for the where I stuck the holly on. So the same principle here. I'm going to then just stick this in the middle this time, and I'm going to cut out a hole. So again, I'm going to try and make sure we are as pleasing to the eye as I can make it. That there. And I'm just going to die cut that one. So with this fracture technique, it's all about die cutting your aperture from the center, and you need something which has got straight lines on it. If you see, it won't work with a circle because we can't bend the paper to go round it, so it needs to be something with straight lines. So I've seen some of them where they've used different shapes and they've cut it out, so it can be done with other shapes, but I think the square is the most traditional, is the most common one, which I've seen anyway. Then I'm just going to cut the next one out with the square but in basic whites. Thank you, Pauline. I try. I just want to make sure that you can, yeah, it's easy for you to replicate. So what we've got there, and obviously we're not going to be using this piece. This one can go to one side. Stick that up there, and that one can go to one side. So we are going to stick that down into that. Now I'm not sticking the back side on this one here, and that will make sense in a moment. If anything, I prefer it this way to the way that I did it the first way round, because it's easier to line it up. So I'm just going to stick this down. Now, because I'm sticking this onto the card first and then going to be popping the cardstock in to create the fracture, it's a little bit harder to cut because obviously I've got some double layers going on. But it is possible. That one there. So pop that in. Excellent. All right, so I'm just going to grab myself some basic whites. Yeah, that will do. Bit of basic white going on there. And I'm just going to cut myself the same size as that paper right there. So we were down to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that will go on the insides like that in a moment. Whilst I've got this open, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue along this edge here and along this edge here, and we can now fold it over, and that can then be drying up as well. Again, don't use too much glue because you don't want it splodging out like that's just done there, and I only used a tiny amount, but okay, so that can dry up like that. Then what I want to do is I want to grab this piece right here, and we're going to use the back side again. So this needs to be, let me just go for, I want to take this to 1 1/8 of an inch. By the same height as my designer series paper, so which was 3 3/4. So we're going to take that so then everything flows with the eye. Everything's the same size, and then that can then go on, so we can stick that on there, that can go there, and then that's going to then, no, I've obviously made that a little bit too, and my measurements from my prototype have obviously changed ever so slightly when doing this, so I just need to just go a little bit chunkier. That's fine. If I make the card the way I did with my prototype, then it will be fine. So that gap there is 1 1/2. So we were 4, and I've taken off 1/4 of an inch. So at 1 1/2, so I'm going to take it down to 1 1/4. That's better. So 1 1/8 was just a little bit too small. It gave my green lines were ever so slightly too big. Just double check that one's correct. It's 3 3/4. So when that goes on like that and closes, we've got the same gap all the way around. It's to me, it's just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So we can go ahead and we can stick the inside of this card down. Now, I've not seen the fracture technique being done as a square card before, and I suppose that is one which I haven't seen. So, and I've only ever seen it like I've pretty much done with my first card, so I've not seen it being done into a bit of a fancy fold as well. And we're using the back side of this, so a bit of glue on that one. There we go. Just close it up, and then I can then use the positioning just to get that. See, even the back side of the paper works well all around as well. All right, so I think you're getting the gist of this now. Now I've created that little pocket there is for a gift card. So, but you've got a card which is then going to go up. So that's basically how that works. What we're going to do is I'm just going to grab myself some real red for this one. Let's just see what I've got. I'll use that one. Use that one there. I'm going to do the same as I did before. I'm going to cut myself off some 1/4 inch strips. So you need 4 again. So this time I'm not doing it the same colour as the card base. We'll go to contrasting colour. So we've got those there, like that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to pop these in. Now the good thing with this is, because we haven't popped another bit of paper inside again, we've got a ridge, so it's now really easy for me to butt this up against it and make sure everything is there, it's in position. So same thing, do that. Finger across. Now because I've got more of a ridge, it's showing up on the back side a little bit more. So a little bit of glue on the back, and again, should have used my adhesive sheets, but I forgot. It's because I just grabbed scrap paper. Okay, and then we go all the way around. So what I might do on this one is I might do, it might be easier for me to do it as I go. There we go, there's a little tip for you. Cut as you go, because it'll be easy. As you may have seen from the first card I did, when I've got all of these bits of paper sticking around, I struggle to get it in the trimmer a little bit. So if you can, at least get some of them cut. I'm really happy with how this card has come out. Obviously I can see the finished one, but I just really like it. I like the colours. I'm really quite, you know, when you make a card sometimes you just go, you know what, yeah, I'm happy with that. This was one of those cards. So I'm not going to worry about doing that one. I'm going to get this one in. Because the problem with cutting as I go is that the glue hasn't always dried, so it could drag it and give me a fluffy edge. There's a couple of ways you can do it anyway. So I do apologise if you've asked some questions and I haven't seen it. Yes, you're correct, Charlotte, which is another reason why I probably haven't used it, because I can't control. It's going to stick over here quite a lot. As long as you're not too heavy-handed with the glue, and as you push it down, it shoots out, you'll be fine. You don't need the adhesive sheets for this, but it does. They've got their place. So what we can do? Okay, that one's fine. Yeah, good. So we know we were at. I know why my measurements were slightly out. It should have been a 10.5, and I've done it. I did it at 10, which is why my measurements were out from the first card, because it's I'm half a mil too small for myself. I'm sure it's correct. So we're at 10. I'll take that to 14 because we know that's 14 there. I will just tidy this up with my scissors. We know that we are then at what should be 10.5 is now 10. Take that off there. And just if need be, just to tidy those edges up just a little bit. So that's that part done. What we're going to do now is we have got the bit which we have got here, and I'm going to grab the happy from the stamp sets. Grab myself my block, and I'm going to use garden green. Let's get that there, and I'm just going to, sorry, my head's just probably going to sneak in a little bit there. I'm going to stamp the happy towards it, because I've got my Christmas, which is here, which again Jay has kindly cut out for me. So I'm going to go with happy Christmas, so I can just bring my happy in there, knowing that my Christmas can then sit over it like that. So what I've done with the Christmas is I heat embossed it with white onto real red, and then Jay has cut that one out for me because I knew he'd go in the sea like that, and I didn't do that on my one. So my decision is now, I go down, my happy looks a little bit wonky, but we'll embrace the wonk. Yeah. Now that 1/4 of an inch has actually I'm gonna do this on dimensionals on this one, because my original one I've done it on set back in, so we'll do this one on dimensionals so that you can see it both ways. It's 8 o'clock. Didn't I thought I'd be over and done within about half an hour. So I'm just going to stick that one in over those, making sure that I've covered up all of that green. Alright, so that's that one. And then what we can do is we can then stick the Christmas down like that. So I'm just going to pop, just need to manipulate that a little bit. So this one I'm going to then just pop some glue across the middle, some little dots. Like so. And then that Christmas can go on like that. And there we have it. There is my fracture card, Happy Christmas. This one here opens up, giving you room for a gift card to go on the inside, which fits like your normal gift card there. On the inside, I think that's a nice way of presenting and giving another card. Normal card can still be displayed nicely, but you've got your gift card there. So that was the first one, but that was the one I've just done tonight. So the one which I did beforehand, I stuck the white down onto the card base and then popped the Christmas on dimensionals. So that was that one, which is the correct size because that one there is just 0.5 mil, 5mm bigger, which is why I was having problems with my measurements. So, so yeah, there we have it. Oh, I think Jay's just come home. Oh, he has just come home. Look at that, perfect timing, Jay. Hello. You've got a lift home, obviously means I don't have to go out. I could have had a drink after all.
I took the bus.
So there we have it. There is my, what one did I do? That one there.
Amazing.
That's my second card. And there is
Lovely.
my first card. All right,
Well
so
done.
creating the fracture technique. So excellent. So yes, have you been watching, Jay?
Yes, I just the last few bits
Okay.
when I was on the bus, but I wasn't commenting. I didn't wanna surprise
Yeah,
you.
Kathy's done it on her last class too. So yeah.
Did you show
Good.
yours?
Oh, I haven't shown that one yet. No. So this was the other one which I was going to make for you tonight. This one's even simpler. So this I can't remember what paper. Do you know what this paper's called?
Snowflake Magic, I want to say.
Which is lovely. Really, really simple. Just using that designer series paper. Same technique, but I've done it on a white card base and I've done white strips. So it looks like it's all part of the card base, and then you just cut these down to size. And then I've done a coordinating colour which matches the designer series paper here. Another one on top, and I've double dimensioned. So I think that one there is really pretty. It's that paper just
yeah, well done.
didn't need much of that paper. None of this paper needed much, not really, because it all worked on its own. You just needed just to bring it out a little bit. So there's a fun technique for you. So good. There we have
Great
it.
job.
So have you got anything you want to show, Jay, at all? I was going to show this one here at the beginning, so you can discuss that one
yes.
there if you want.
So for World Card Making Day, yesterday, Stampin' Up had a free event for demonstrators as well as, well, for anyone really and customers. And one of the design was using the circle punch, but it was with the circle sayings. I changed it to the new curve occasions and used the curve label punch and created my own banner for that one, and just quickly watercolored that one. I did do the second card, but I changed it up slightly, and it'll be coming out in a couple of weeks for the GDP, so check Global Design Project Challenge. So check that out as
You've
well.
been showing it down below, but I haven't been seeing it down below.
Oh,
I just realised.
sorry.
That,
I thought you were still camera down. Sorry, I was probably just looking very funny because I was looking at the card, describing the card, how lovely it is, and you're just looking at my...
And I'm not paying any attention. I'm
Face.
looking at the computer over here as well, looking at comments. Sorry, that's a real...
So yes, so and yeah, I really like the color combination. Lemon Lolly, I haven't really used it much, so I kept to the color combination that Stampin' Up provided. And yes, there's nothing else really. We did have our retreat this today, and we can quickly share some of the projects.
Are you going to? Do you want to share some?
Yeah.
Should I grab mine?
Yeah.
What one should I do? My ones or your ones?
You can do yours. Yours is much better than mine. So yes, so well done, Barry, and yes, do share your projects with the fracture card. Amazing. Yeah, Tommy's just...
I've just lost my seat, which is why I've just shoved the cards to Jay whilst I get Tommy off.
So this is one of the casual cards that Barry created with the Christmas Classics bundle and the Joy of Christmas DSP. So we did a casual and then an Avid Plus. And this one is his Funfold with the Joyful Specialty DSP and the Christmas Classics bundle. So replay is available to book from our website as well. And I created a card and a box as well. Sarah did a lovely card and a box as well.
Yeah. Thank you for answering Pat's question there, Charlotte. Yeah, it was the fracture technique. It's the name of the technique which I've used tonight.
Yes.
So
love it.
so good.
Cool.
Lovely. Really happy with those.
Yeah.
I love this one here. I'm really happy with that one.
That paper.
Yes.
It's lovely. Look, you still have your...
I do have my marks
From
in.
this afternoon.
Yes. So now we can go over to our lovely faces. So, yes, thank you so much for joining me. And we have got Zoom. I have set a Zoom up. So, Jay can tidy whilst I quickly go and stand up and stretch my legs. He can chat.
Yes.
And sure, do something. It won't be a long one tonight, but we're going to do a quick Zoom. So come over there. The Zoom link is posted in the top of the live chat at the moment, but it is also over on the Crafty Stampers Facebook group. So go and have a little look at that. Come and have a little chat. It's open to anyone, demonstrators, non-demonstrators. So it doesn't matter where you are, who you are. Please come and
as
join.
Long as you
chat.
love card
As long as you love
making.
card making. Yes, that's all we ask. You're card makers or interested in card making. Paper crafting, yes.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching. We will be back with you again on Wednesday, same time, same place.
Yes.
We'll see you again soon.
Cool. Take care,
Take care for
everyone.
now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.